Okay, let's just settle into our meditation posture and just try and bring your mind to the same place your body is. And just relax. And check your posture, your legs, feet and legs and knees, and make sure your sits bones are raised. Hands in the meditation mudra. And just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light. So really try and imagine those pearls of light, and you can imagine they're shining into your body. We can start by filling our body with light. You can imagine somebody is above the crown of your head, like a puppeteer, very gently lengthening your spine. And the head is slightly tipped forward, putting some length in the back of the neck. Eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, as if they were looking at a spot about 2 inches ahead. And the tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. And relax the jaw. And just bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth. Relax the back of the head, the ears, the inner ear, the temples, and the jaw. The back of the neck, release any tension there, and the shoulders, and allow the shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly, limbs, hands, fingers and feet and toes, and bring the mind to the breath. Noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And if there are any sounds in your environment, just allow them to be there. So just notice does your mind get drawn away, and what's distracting you? What kinds of sounds are they? And then bring the mind back to the breath. And just notice your thoughts, what's arising, what's bubbling up this evening. And then try not to judge what's arising. And just notice what's there with curiosity and interest. And you can just watch it like an objective observer without getting emotional or involved or getting caught up in a story or entangled. And just allow that river of mental moments to flow on by as you're sitting on the bank of the river. Safe and free. So now let's bring to mind all those people of our life. Your friends. And I'm wondering, we do this every night, and I'm wondering if any of these groups of people, as we're doing it night after night, is anybody changing place? Or maybe the person that you maybe don't like is dropping away. Maybe a stranger has dropped away and become a friend. But just notice how it changes. So these relationships we have, they're not fixed. So you can think of your friend, your loved one, your spouses and children and really dear best friends, who put up with all your grumpy moods, support you when you're feeling down, rejoice when something happens for you that's really positive. And then there's those people who you are finding a bit difficult. They might not necessarily be a full-out enemy, but you're not wanting to hug them all the time, you know. And then there's those strangers. I mean, the roads are so busy here in the summer. It's kind of amazing. So I'm passing lots of strangers every day. People on foot, people on bikes, people in cars. So just think that the friend, the enemy, and the stranger, they all deserve our equal concern. And why is that? I mean, why would we care about anybody else except for our loved ones? Well, because just like you, they want to be happy. And just like you, they don't want to suffer. And they also have this incredible capacity for this enlightened mind. So bring the mind back to the breath, and we'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension all sentient beings. So just remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. So if you've said something or done something or thought something in the last 24 hours that isn't completely positive, try not to beat yourself up about it. Just recognize that it's there. And recognize also we're just doing the best we can. This is all we can do right now. We're just trying. So remember, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And remembering you're doing the best you can. And we create negativity with our mind, so we're going to create positivity with our mind instead. So here we come to the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being today, in this life, and in past lives. And you can think maybe something specific of you've done with your body or with your speech. And maybe even something with your mind, because these kind of delusions that arise are also what cause you to harm others. So reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of future suffering. So what logically makes sense to do is to pull out those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech and our mind. Well, we harm ourselves with our mind. So these are delusions. And think, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. And this is refuge. We rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we can see as a doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. And so we're not asking Vajrasattva to forgive us. It's not like we have this kind of... It's like that is, in fact, giving responsibility over to somebody else. Well, this is never going to fix the problem. So we take responsibility and we think, okay, so what can I do about this? So here's this Buddha, here's this person who can help me. So I'll use his methods. So we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva a couple of inches above the crown of your head, this holy light being, facing the same way as you. And you can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. So he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this lotus, although born out of mud, You know, when you see a lotus, they're perfect, but they grow out of muddy ponds. So it's the same as our enlightened potential. It's born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. So Vajrasattva has this beautiful, radiant, white, his white body, so his face is white. His eyes, lotus-like eyes, they're long, peaceful, and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood, so as to benefit all sentient beings. So there's this little one on compassion, this little section on compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. Then remember those who have harmed you, and you have compassion for them because they will suffer as a result of the harm they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So next we come to the power of the remedy. And this is the actual medicine that we're going to take by performing this recitation of the mantra and visualizing light and nectar. So we start with the body, and Vajrasattva, imagine, very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose or a waterfall, very forcefully from his heart. And this arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sepokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sepokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sepokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sepokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sepokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sepokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sepokaya Mebawa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So then think that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is a purification of speech. And again, imagine Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the body all the negativity of your speech, and it overflows quite powerfully. You can imagine like from a whale spout, something along those lines. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and just kind of careless, useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. So you just imagine that everything that comes out of your mouth is beneficial for others, sentient beings, to hear. So next is a purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you switch on a light. That light instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all the attachment and neediness and anger and depression, resentment and bitterness and jealousy, all instantly dispelled, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anarakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anarakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anarakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anarakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anarakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anurakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anurakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, gone. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. So this one's quite subtle. So it's like a second wash almost, giving you no chance to repeat any kind of difficult habits, bad habits. So just imagine light and nectar, and if you wish you can do a couple of mantras each for those visualizations of the body, the speech and the mind that we've just done. Or just imagine Vajrasattva sending light and nectar from his heart, fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anarakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anarakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anarakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Mibowa, Sutokaya Mibowa, Sipokaya Mibowa, Anarakta Mibowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Matsa Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel you are completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next is the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and really probably the most crucial one. Is this is, good doing all this purification and then you just do the same stuff over and over again. It just kind of negates everything. So in order to be able to move forward, we make a decision to refrain from harming, to try to refrain from harming ourselves and others. So you can think of something that you're working on. Maybe it's with your speech. Maybe you can not talk about some situation or complain about something for 8 hours while you're asleep. Or 30 seconds, whatever it is you can manage. But just make an effort. It takes a little bit of, make a decision. I'm not going to be doing this for a while. I'm going to give myself a timeline. So just like that. And then gradually, slowly, you'll find those habits are starting to fade. The neural pathways, if they're not being used, they will atrophy. So it's actually it's in fact a physical action that happens in the brain. So next, to conclude, Vajrasattva is delighted with us, and wanting to merge with your mind, he melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. So it just kind of melts into you. And think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call that union oneness. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a moment. So you can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Tub Shul Chang Jin Jam Gon Galway, Tenzing Kyong Pelway Kunzo Dog Porze, Chog Sum Kurway Leg Mon to Drub, Pa Dag Sog Dulje Gondu Jab Ten Shug. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. That's it. Another week. We're in the middle of another week that's almost gone. Can't believe it. Okay. Lots of love, everybody. Thank you so much. Sleep well, sweet dreams, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Venerable.